And now to present CADCA's Humanitarian of the Year Award, our final award of the evening and a very special award at that. Let's take a look at what people are saying about the next honoree.
The future has never been brighter for CADCA and the thousands of lives it touches every year. It is because of leaders like Kevin Warren that the vision and energy of the organization stays so fresh. Kevin and I have been friends for many years. From our days as kids in a rough neighborhood of D.C., we have broken bread, debated, and worked side by side on charitable projects. There are unique qualities that define a leader of substance, one who can do the right thing regardless of opposing pressures. I've become a lifelong witness to the goodness of Kevin's character.
Xerox has a long history of being involved in social issues that affect the communities where we live and work. It's one of the core values our founder, Joe Wilson, established more than 50 years ago. And it's one of the reasons why people like me and my good friend and colleague Kevin Warren have stayed with Xerox for so long. Kevin has always demonstrated a willingness to reach out and help solve tough problems. And the theme of this event says it best. It's about affecting real lives with real change. Kevin knows how to make that happen. As a father of 2 teenage sons, he understands the need and obligations for parents to help kids resist negative peer pressure. He spoke on Capitol Hill about this issue. He supports programs resulting in stronger families and communities. He does all he can so that our kids can pursue their full potential and become the future leaders of our country and our workforce.
Kevin had a leadership position really from the get-go on the board of Big Brothers Big Sisters as he chaired the Human Resources Committee and was also on the Executive Committee. And over the last year and a half or so, Kevin and I worked very closely together. I was chairman of the board, and we worked through a number of very significant issues and challenges facing the organization. Working that close with Kevin really gave me an opportunity to get to know him and to really understand and appreciate the value that he brings to all of the organizations that he serves. Kevin is absolutely passionate about kids and youth. He clearly understands that the future of our country is in the hands of these kids, and he understands that successful kids in a school environment, in a social environment, will lead to leaders that will take our country forward. We can think of no one more qualified, no one more deserving of this offer, and Kevin, from all of us, we want to say congratulations, great job, and it's been a pleasure to know you and work with you.
I am proud to see the growth of CADCA. I'm equally proud to see CADCA's recognition of Kevin, not just as a business leader, but as a partner in building a great drug-free community for families worldwide. Congratulations, my friend.
You made a great choice in this year's Humanitarian of the Year. That's why I'm proud to congratulate Kevin on behalf of the entire Xerox family. You made us so proud.
Kevin and I have known each other since we were quite young, in fact, going back probably 6, 7 years old, growing up in pretty rough neighborhoods of Petworth. Of course, now it's pretty hard to afford to live in Petworth in Washington nowadays, but it wasn't that way when we were much younger, and I'm quite proud to be one of just the handful that have done quite well getting out of there, and quite blessed to remain friends some 40-plus years later. God bless you, and ladies and gentlemen, Kevin Warren.
Kevin, it's a distinct honor for us to recognize you as our Humanitarian of the Year. Your leadership that you've displayed over the years, as documented in the video, your compassion for young people in their lives and making them better citizens, the example that you provide, we could not be more honored. And we are delighted that you have decided to stay in the fight and to become a part of our board of directors. We appreciate that. And I want to digress for 1 minute. I know Kevin has a lot of family here. His lovely bride is here. And I want to commit to you now that we're not going to work him too hard, okay? We're not going to work him too hard. But it's a true honor to present to you the Humanitarian of the Year Award, and thank you for your outstanding leadership and example. God bless you.
Wow. Thank you, General Dean, and thank you, my dear friend Andre. This award means even that much more coming from you and the kind words you shared. I'd also like to thank you, CADCA, the CADCA members and distinguished guests. Thanks also to Xerox Chairman Ursula Burns, to Brian Jackson, the Chair of the Board of Big Brothers Big Sisters of America, for the kind remarks that I saw for the first time this evening on the video. Also, a very special thanks to my best friend, my rock, my wife Debbie, sitting right here. Thank you, Debbie. As well as a personal inspiration on this cause, my two sons, my two teenage sons, Jordan and Kobe, sitting right here as well. I also like to thank friends, other family, Xerox partners, Xerox clients, colleagues. It really does mean a lot for you guys to be here this evening, so thank you for that. I'm honored and I'm humbled, I must say, to be among the honorees tonight, especially at this event where you're recognizing amazing people like Mary Wong and like Alvin Brooks. And to say I'm in good company is obviously an understatement. Now, in all honesty, I have to admit, I'll share with you guys, that when I was told I was receiving a humanitarian award, I was a little bit surprised. And then again, I think not anyone really considers themselves a humanitarian. And after all, it is a very big word. So I did what my mother, who was an English teacher, taught me to do. I went and looked it up. So I went to Daniel Webster, and I found that a humanitarian is someone who promotes human welfare and social reform. So I said, okay, I can relate to that. And as I look around here this evening, I see that I'm surrounded by humanitarians. So please give yourselves a nice hand. Your work to promote human welfare and social reform is inspiring. And again, I'm honored to be among you. Now, as I accept this award, I must admit there's a lot that's running through my mind. But in the interest of time, I know you'll be happy to know I won't share all of it. But I do want to leave you with just a few thoughts, building on the theme of this event. First, real lives. The importance of family. And then second, real change. The kind that comes from true community engagement. And third, if you'll allow me to add a Xerox phrase, real business, underscoring the economic responsibility that we all share to nurture the next generation of business innovators and business leaders. CADCA's mission to create and maintain safe, healthy, drug-free communities is not an abstract concept. It begins at home. And that was certainly true growing up in my house. My mother, Lucy Warren, was a 9th grade school teacher in D.C. public schools, and she knew the importance of education. And she ruled our house with the same combination of love, compassion, and discipline she applied in the classroom. And I'm thinking of her and my father, William Warren, tonight, and how fortunate I was to have their guidance. And this is the kind of guidance that everyone needs to avoid the trap of going into drugs and making the wrong choices. I'm also thinking of my two sons and how proud I am of both of them and my responsibility to them to make sure that I instill the same values in you guys that was given to me by my parents. It's what real life is all about. But it can't happen without real change. Our society is filled with temptation everywhere. In too many cases, the deck is stacked against our kids. It takes more than one organization. It takes more than one individual. It takes coalitions like CADCA and organizations like Big Brothers and Big Sisters working with committed individuals to create supportive communities that can only combat drug abuse, that can only not just combat drug abuse, but prevent it in the first place. And it doesn't just make sense. It makes dollars and cents. Now, one of the reasons I joined Xerox 28 years ago was because of a culture, Ursula, you heard Ursula reference on the video, the valued social responsibility. In the midst of the race riots of the 1960s, our founder, Joe Wilson, drove into the center of the city to work with leaders who could put an end to the violence. And we've never seen the walls of our office buildings as barriers to the outside world. We see the communities where we do business as our homes. We understand if we're going to attract the best and brightest, we have to do our part to create an environment where young talent can thrive. The future of business depends on it, and that's for real. Every business, every nonprofit organization, every school, and every government agency, every individual, every parent, every daughter, every son, student, and teacher, every elected official, and every corporate executive, we all own the problem of drugs. The good news is we all own the solution as well. It's not something that just plays out on streets and gets reported on the news. It's personal. It's real. We must band together to support programs and campaigns that will result in stronger families and communities. The mission of CADCA is directly aligned to that goal. And as we go out and start to execute on the mission, I'm reminded of the words of President Obama when he said, "Our work is not done. Change has never been quick. Change has never been simple." And I'm also reminded of the words of Dr. Martin Luther King, who said, "We must combine the toughness of the serpent with the softness of the dove and a tender heart." If we do that, and when we do that, we can create the kind of safe, healthy, drug-free world we all envision. I'm proud to be a part of it. I know you are too. I am honored and humbled and thrilled to stand among you as a CADCA humanitarian and a brand new board member. Thank you for your time this evening.
Well spent.